Africa has long been a major technology consumer. Now it's leveling up with the launch of this AI factory developed in partnership with tech giant NVIDIA and launched by IT services company Altron.
Normal data centers was built for our data centers, normal infrastructure going into a data center. AI factory is specifically designed for AI workloads, and it's massive amount of compute in one space.
Large language models like ChatGPT and Google Gemini emerge from similar centers. Powered by NVIDIA, the South African facility will develop and train smaller models to enhance corporate and public services across several industries, including medicine, education, and finance.
South Africa just dropped a global tech bombshell, and the world is watching. The continent's first ever AI factory is not going to be backed by the United States like everyone expected it, as China stepping in, and the implications are massive. This isn't just about jobs or technology, it's a seismic shift in global power. The United States is losing influence in Africa, while China positions itself as the partner of choice. Local experts say this could transform Africa into a global AI hub, producing cutting-edge technology for the world. So, what does this mean for the United States, for China, and for the future of AI? Stay tuned, because this is just the beginning of a game-changing story you won't want to miss.
South Africa has just dropped a global tech bombshell. In a move that has stunned the world, the continent's first ever artificial intelligence factory will be built in partnership with China, not the United States. What seemed like a straightforward industrial project has become a symbol of a new era in geopolitics, signaling that the United States' grip on emerging technologies is slipping while China's influence skyrockets. The announcement has sent shockwaves through capitals, boardrooms, and tech hubs worldwide, igniting debate about the future of AI and global power. The AI factory in South Africa isn't just another industrial site. It promises to be a hub of research, innovation, and production that could redefine Africa's technological landscape. For decades, the United States was assumed to be the default partner for major tech initiatives in Africa. Companies and governments alike believe that cutting-edge technology naturally came with United States backing. South Africa's choice flips that assumption entirely. By partnering with China, it is signaling that its priorities are speed, scale, and opportunity, not historical loyalty. Chinese tech firms are bringing decades of AI research, industrial infrastructure, and an aggressive vision for scalable production. The message is clear. Africa wants to leapfrog into the future, and it's willing to work with whoever delivers the fastest path forward, even if that means leaving the United States behind. The reaction from the United States has been swift and tense. Senior officials and advisors reportedly view the move as a major setback and a betrayal of long-standing alliances. The United States' influence in Africa, once considered unshakable, is now in question. Companies that expected lucrative contracts are suddenly scrambling as China's offer proves far more competitive. Analysts say the United States is facing a reality it has long avoided. Other nations may no longer view it as the automatic technological partner of choice. China, meanwhile, is celebrating quietly but strategically. Beijing has invested heavily in Africa for years, not only in infrastructure, but in technology and industrial development. The AI factory represents the first major leap into AI manufacturing on the continent and is seen as a deliberate move in China's broader plan for global tech dominance. By stepping in where the United States hesitated, China positions itself as a reliable, fast-moving partner capable of delivering large-scale results. Every chip produced, every research collaboration, and every job created strengthens China's influence in Africa and beyond. Local experts and analysts in South Africa see the decision as both pragmatic and visionary. It's not just about politics. It's about development, opportunity, and accelerated access to cutting-edge AI tools. African tech ecosystems have long been limited by expensive imports, fragmented knowledge, and slow development. Partnering with China promises faster innovation, skill development, and integration into global supply chains. Some caution that relying heavily on China may come with challenges, including potential dependence and data governance concerns. Yet, even critics acknowledge that the factory could transform Africa into a global AI hub capable of producing innovations for the world, not just for local consumption. The geopolitical implications are enormous. South Africa's choice sends a warning to the United States that its influence is no longer guaranteed. Other nations are watching, and questions are rising about whether the United States can maintain its traditional role in Africa if it cannot compete with China's speed and scale. This decision also signals a broader shift in global tech power. Control over AI is not just about economics, it's about political leverage. Nations leading in AI can shape standards, dominate markets, and influence global technological policies. By embracing China, South Africa accelerates a power shift that could redefine international alliances. The economic impact of the factory is massive. It promises thousands of jobs, partnerships with universities, and collaboration with startups. Investors from around the world are already showing interest in Africa's growing talent pool. The United States now faces a wake-up call. Missing out on this emerging AI hub could cost it long-term influence, contracts, and strategic partnerships. China's involvement ensures rapid deployment and development, giving it an advantage in establishing early dominance in a region poised for technological growth. One of the most exciting aspects is the development of local talent. China's involvement includes training programs, research labs, and collaboration with South African universities. This will create a new generation of AI engineers, programmers, and researchers, positioning Africa not just as a consumer of technology, but as an exporter of global innovations. The factory could become a catalyst for startups, technological research, and AI-driven solutions across agriculture, mining, healthcare, and education. The United States' absence in this project highlights a strategic misstep. While Washington focused on cautious negotiations and regulatory hurdles, China acted decisively with a clear, practical offer. This contrast has left the United States scrambling, trying to regain influence it once took for granted. Analysts warn that other regions may increasingly see China as the more reliable partner for tech development, leaving the United States struggling to maintain relevance. Global tech power is shifting. Control over AI research, production, and talent translates directly into global influence. South Africa's factory, powered by China, exemplifies this shift. It demonstrates that countries no longer need the United States' approval or partnership to achieve technological advancement. Instead, nations are seeking partners who can deliver results quickly and effectively. This is a wake-up call for the United States, which must rethink its approach to Africa and other emerging regions if it hopes to maintain influence in the 21st century. On the ground, enthusiasm is high. Engineers, students, and entrepreneurs in South Africa see the factory as a gateway to global relevance. Startups are already planning collaborations, hoping to integrate AI into sectors that matter most to local economies. Communities around the factory anticipate job creation, infrastructure improvements, and increased access to technology. For many, this represents not just economic growth but empowerment, a chance to shape the future of the continent's technology. China's involvement is also a soft power victory. By delivering tangible benefits, jobs, training, infrastructure, it enhances its image as a partner willing to invest in mutual growth. This contrasts with the United States, which is often perceived as cautious or politically conditional in its partnerships. Soft power is increasingly critical in a multipolar world, where influence is measured not by history alone, but by tangible action, capability, and vision. For the United States, South Africa's decision is a stark reminder that influence cannot be taken for granted. Maintaining relevance will require bold investments, decisive partnerships, and a willingness to compete on speed and scale. Analysts warn that China's early advantage in Africa's AI landscape could lock in long-term influence, giving Beijing a technological edge for decades to come. The United States risks being relegated to the role of observer, forced to catch up rather than lead. South Africa's AI factory also highlights the potential for Africa to emerge as a global tech hub. By fostering local talent, research, and innovation, the continent could become a significant contributor to global AI development. This is more than economic empowerment, it's technological independence. African nations may increasingly prioritize practical outcomes over historical allegiances, choosing partners that help them grow fastest. In the global competition for AI, South Africa's decision marks a turning point. It challenges the United States' dominance, showcases China's rise, and underscores Africa's potential to redefine technological power. The factory is more than a site for production. It's a symbol of opportunity, vision, and strategic decision-making in a rapidly changing world. The factory represents a new era of global competition, where influence is earned through execution rather than assumed based on tradition. The United States faces a wake-up call, China gains momentum, and Africa steps into a central role in global technological advancement. Every AI chip produced, every trained engineer, and every research breakthrough could shape the future of international standards, economic power, and political influence. South Africa's AI factory is a bold statement. It signals ambition, independence, and foresight. By partnering with China, the country accelerates its technological future while challenging the United States' global influence. The decision is a turning point in the race for AI supremacy, marking a shift toward a more multipolar world where new players can rise quickly and decisively. The question now is not just who will lead in AI, but how nations will adapt to a world where influence is defined by vision, action, and execution. South Africa has made its choice, the world is watching, and global power may never be the same.